Okay, then. Good afternoon. Today is July 10th, 2020. It's just after 12:30 in the afternoon. This is a special meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority, convened at the direction of Chairman Bradley. Yesterday afternoon, evening, the chairman, pursuant to his powers under the relevant delegation of power, issued an emergency summary order of suspension with respect to Genesee Speedway LLC. He directed that the matter be placed back on a special calendar for the members to review the grounds for the suspension and to decide what action to take, if any, going forward. So for the record, this will be item 787H. And again, it's Genesee TS 3157459, Genesee Speedway LLC. With that, Chairman, I don't know if you want to start or you want me to turn it over to council.
You can turn it over to council.
All right. Just for the record, Commissioner Fan and Commissioner Ford, can you just both acknowledge that you're participating on this meeting by phone?
Lily Fan is here.
Commissioner Ford is here as well.
Yeah, let me add something though. So yesterday our investigators got information late in the afternoon regarding what council's going to explain to you. It probably was 3 o'clock or after. At that point, council got the information. Council Meyerhoff, he put together the facts as he received them and determined that he was going to pursue a summary suspension and let Secretary Donahue know at about 4 o'clock or 4:30. 4 o'clock, I think he let you know through email, which I was CC'd on. At which point, Tom emailed all of us seeking to do the summary suspension hearing at 4:30. We were unable to get in contact with either of you, so at that point, Tom and Gary Meyerhoff and I decided to use the delegation that we gave me about a year and a half ago, Tom.
That was at the June 2017 full board meeting.
And the reason that we did it was because the event was actually going to start at 5 o'clock that evening, so we needed to put the summary suspension in order. Now Gary can go through the facts of the investigation.
Just note too that proceeding, that presentation yesterday was recorded and is on our website. Although it wasn't an actual special board meeting, we did record it for the record, and it's available.
Okay. Go ahead, Gary.
Sure. Commissioners Fan and Ford, have you had an opportunity to listen to what happened yesterday, or do I need to go back through all the details? I have some information to bring you both up to speed, but I guess that's my first question.
I have reviewed the 15-minute video from yesterday twice, so I don't think you need to repeat it for me.
Same here. I listened and watched the whole thing too, so we're up to speed.
Okay, so let me bring you up to speed on what we know from last night, and then I'm happy to answer any questions that either of you have or that Chairman Bradley has. I forwarded you before the meeting a report from the enforcement investigator who went and served the summary suspension order. As Chairman Bradley indicated, the event was scheduled to start at 5 o'clock with racing to begin, I believe, at 7 o'clock. And by the time we got over there with the order, the doors had already been opened. Our investigator actually went to the local Genesee Sheriff's Office, and the sheriffs accompanied him to the raceway and served the order of suspension and was able to obtain the license. And there's a picture that shows that there were spectators in the stands when the order was served. Also, the website for Genesee Raceway, just about 15 minutes ago, reflects what happened last night, and then the first two paragraphs, which I will read to you, it says, Rich Fleck, Batavia, New York, July 9th, 2020. A scorching hot afternoon in Genesee County turned into a combustible evening as lightning danced around the Genesee Speedway. Thankfully, the only thing that hit the 1/3 mile oval were nearly 100 race cars on a near-perfect race surface. With fans back in the stands for the second time in 5 days, the Genesee Speedway roared back to life with a show that was pushed at a fast pace with storms and showers from every direction, narrowly missing the fairgrounds by less than 5 miles. So there's that's what it says on the first page of their website, which I just read to you. They are unabashedly happy to inform the world that they've had fans back in the stands for 2 times in 5 days. The suspension, as far as we know, did not cause them to change their decision to go forward with having spectators in the stands in violation of the executive order. So with that record in mind, I guess we're interested to know whether Commissioners Ford and Fan have any questions and whether they believe that anything should be done with respect to the existing order of suspension that Chairman Bradley entered in an emergency fashion yesterday.
And Commissioners Fan and Ford.
Yes.
If you're fine, hold on. If you're fine with the status quo, you don't need to do anything. All right, you don't need to order anything or take any vote. It's only if you want to, as counsel indicated, make some changes to the order, or if you want to take other action with respect to the order. But otherwise, you can just leave it, remain in effect without any order, any vote rather.
I just have 2 questions. One is after the vote by the chairman, and at let's say 4:45, and the event started at 5 o'clock. Did they know that their license had been suspended in the meantime, and then they went ahead and started anyway, or did we not actually notify them until 7:30 when our investigator showed up with the sheriff?
We did not independently notify them that the suspension had occurred, although shortly before the suspension, our investigator called them back after having an earlier conversation and said again, you understand that if you go forward with this event, we are going to suspend your license. So they were advised of that shortly before they opened.
And do we know if they were actually selling alcohol?
I don't have that information, but the basis of the suspension is not related to the sale of alcohol. It is related to their violation of a local regulation, specifically the executive order. So whether they were selling alcohol or not, the fact that they have a liquor license and have submitted to the jurisdiction of the authority, they have to follow all laws, and they were not following this law, and that was the basis on which they will be charged and the basis on which the suspension was ordered.
And just to clarify your earlier question, based on the memo we got from the investigator who served the suspension, the owner of the track, when approached by the investigator, indicated that she expected to see him. So they were aware we were doing this.
Got it.
That's right. That's a very, very good point. That statement, which we have in the report, which I forwarded to you, is an admission that they knew that this was going to happen and opened anyway.
I understand. Okay. I am in agreement with the chairman.
So, Commissioner Ford, Commissioner Fan, rather, you don't see any need to take any action then? Any further action? Commissioner Ford?
Commissioner Fan asked the questions that I had actually as well. So I don't have anything else to add to it, and I'm in agreement with everything that's in place.
All right then. So, Chairman, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I have instructed, as Council Meyerhoff pointed out, the racing obviously went on, even though we attempted to stop it with taking the liquor license. We obviously don't have jurisdiction over the racing. I have instructed our investigator, our chief of investigations, Joe Finelli, to reach out to the State Department of Health as well as the County Department of Health where the track is located to enforce the governor's executive orders, because at this point they're really the only means of enforcement. We've basically done what we can do as far as taking the liquor license in order to stop this racing from continuing, or not the racing, it's really the spectators that's the problem. In order to stop that from continuing, it's going to be one of those agencies that has to do it at this point, because we have no more jurisdiction. Thank you.
Got it.
All right, so with that, the existing order of suspension issued on July 9th will remain in effect. Chairman, you have any other business for the members?
No.
All right, with that, thank you all for joining us, and this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Have a good weekend.